Hi, and hello and welcome. Thank you for joining our webinar today. My name is Cooley. I am the Targeted Outreach Director for the Department of Financial Protection and Innovation. We have some fantastic presenters today and a lot of really great resources for military service members and veterans. Let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so a little bit of housekeeping. First, this webinar is being recorded and it will be published to YouTube, our YouTube channel later on today. Everyone who registered for this webinar will receive a copy of the slides as well as a link to the webinar recording. If you do have any questions, please submit it through the Zoom's Q&A feature. We will try to answer those questions as best as we can, but we'll also save it towards the end where we have a dedicated Q&A session. And also, if you do want to contact us, there's an email address there, outreach@dfpi.ca.gov to learn, to submit any other questions for us. Okay, first I want to highlight a video from the Veterans Crisis Line. Let's watch it.
Honestly, I'm not really sure why I'm calling. It's just,
I'm having nightmares.
My husband and I, we're just fighting a lot.
I can't get any sleep.
Things just keep getting worse, and it's starting to feel like I can't do this by myself anymore.
We could use some help figuring things out.
Okay. Well, I'm glad you called. Why don't you tell me more about what's going on? There's no wrong reason to reach out for crisis support. Whatever you're going through, the Veterans Crisis Line is here to help. Visit veteranscrisisline.net to learn more.
So I know it's a very short video, but I think it's very effective. I do want to start off our webinar by, letting any kind of military service members and veterans know that there is a dedicated crisis line for you. I myself, as a veteran, I haven't called this line, but I know a lot of my friends who have, and really, there's no wrong reason. There's no wrong reasons why you should reach out to the Veterans Crisis Line. You can call them for anything. It's free. It's available 24/7. It's confidential, and also you can call them even if you're not enrolled in any kind of VA services or benefits or healthcare. Whatever you're going through, you can give them a call. So it could be something, you might be having some financial issues, could be personal relationship issues, could be legal issues. You're absolutely welcome to call the Veterans Crisis Line and they can help you. At the very least, there's someone that, it's just someone that can listen to you, right? They're not there to solve your problems. They're there to listen to you. And then if you do want some resources, again, for assistance, whether again, it's financial, personal, legal, it could be any number of things. Maybe you're a homeless veteran and you're reaching out to get to learn about where you can find shelter. They're there to listen to you, and then there to give you resources, local resources as well, where you can find help. A lot of different ways that you can get in touch with the Veterans Crisis Line. You could dial 988 and then press 1. There's also a link where you can chat to the Veterans Crisis Line, and you can also text. You could text 838-255. And if you do need some kind of hearing assistance, they do have an 800 number there. It's 1-800-799-4889. Again, it's free, 24/7, available, and confidential, and you could call for anything. So please feel free to reach out to the Veterans Crisis Line if you need that kind of help. Okay. Next slide. All right, so I do want to talk about who we are, the DFPI, just a small quick plug. The Department of Financial Protection and Innovation. We are California's licensing and regulatory agency of state financial products, institutions, and professionals. We conduct exams to ensure compliance. We also review consumer complaints and pursue legal actions against businesses and financial businesses or institutions or professionals who are operating illegally, unlawful or deceptively. But my particular unit, my particular group, we provide consumer awareness presentations all throughout California to help protect consumers and also generate awareness of frauds and scams. If you want to learn more, I do have a link there. Our website is dfpi.ca.gov. Okay, with that, I do want to thank CalHR for giving us some slides, and I wanted to go over some of the things that they wanted to highlight. So CalHR, it's the California Human Resources, it's the California State Agency, which provides a lot of hiring, not only oversees the a lot of the hiring, but basically they oversee, or they have a platform which a lot of the state jobs are placed on, and then they do have a lot of, or they help regulate a lot of the policies around state workers and stuff. So first of all, if you're interested in a career with the DFPI, we have a direct link there. It's dfpi.ca.gov/careers. It's just career opportunities with the DFPI. And then CalHR has their own little database, which has a ton of jobs, a lot of different categories, a lot of different specialties. I highly recommend you go to their website, which is jobs.ca.gov, to check out the available opportunities for veterans. And then, of course, there's a small list there of the different benefits that state workers get. I do want to highlight the last bullet point, which is working for a state agency, which is a nonprofit. You have the ability to apply for public service loan forgiveness if you have any kind of student loans, which can lead to student loan forgiveness. Okay. With this, I'd like to hand it off to Sean from CalVet, who is going to talk about veterans' preferences. Sean?
Thank you so much for having me today. I really appreciate it. So when we talk about veterans preference, there's actually two different types. There's federal veterans preference and there's state of California veterans preference. Working with the state gives you the awesome opportunity to really, there's just so many great opportunities working with the state. The benefits, as he listed before, are really great. When you're doing veterans preference, what they're going to ask for is a copy of your DD-214, and they're going to put that in the system. And what it allows you to do is when you have testing, whenever there's any type of eligible exams, they're going to use your veterans preference. And as long as you pass the exam, it's going to push you to the top tier of that group. It really gives you that foot in and that leg up to get the opportunities to move forward into that job position. You're still going to have to do all of the appropriate. You're still going to have to do all of the appropriate testing, and you still have to do the appropriate job interviews. But having that ability to go straight to the top of that list, it really stands out. This applies to veterans, widows, and of course, if someone has a 100% disability rating, it applies to their spouse as well. Next slide, please. So limited examination and appointment program. This is a program that the state of California puts out for people who are looking to get hired, who have disabilities. And what it really does is it opens up an opportunity. It's like an optional pathway for people with disabilities. So instead of having to take the standardized testing, it gives you the ability to demonstrate your competencies while you're on the job. You want to make sure that you apply for the LEAP certificate from the Department of Rehabilitation. And then once you get that certificate, just like your DD-214, you would upload that into the system. And on the CalCareers website, when you're looking at your profile and you're applying for jobs, you want to make sure that that both either the DD-214, the Veterans Preference, or the LEAP certificate they're showing as active on your profile. The nice thing is that once you have these, they'll be placed towards every job that you put in for, as long as you're doing those examinations. Next slide, please. So as we said before, my name is Sean Campbell, and I work with the California Department of Veterans Affairs. And I'm here today to just do a short overview of some of the different benefits that the state of California has for veterans and their families. Next slide, please. Specifically, I work with the California Transition Assistance Program. And our role is really to talk to veterans of all eras about their federal and state benefits. We want to make sure that we're informing and connecting them to the different programs that are out there and provide that continued support and assistance, because we recognize that people's needs do change over time. And my team really works with what they call 5 different pathways: core curriculum, education, employment, entrepreneurship, and working with the various service providers that are out there to help veterans. Next slide. This is what our veterans resource book looks like, and the host is going to drop this into the chat, a link, so you can download it directly. This book is chock full of different benefits and really gives you an in-depth look at all of the things that are out there for service members and their families. Next slide, please. This is the landing page for our website at calvet.ca.gov. How to contact us directly, our direct contacts numbers up there, talking about VA benefits, the crisis line as we talked about before, and then links to the County Veterans Service Office. And you can see the arrows highlighted to our landing page there. Next slide, please. There's a lot of different divisions within our building, and within the California Transition Assistance Program, we really work directly with veterans, making sure that they're aware of the different benefits. This gives you 24/7 access to videos and PDFs, and really lets you navigate through some of the stuff at a self-paced learning. And this is, if you go further down on this page, it'll also give you access to our archives, so you can view some of the previous videos that we have. Next slide, please. So core curriculum is really the beginning, where a lot of people start off with. It's a brief introduction, talks a lot about resilience. What are your healthcare options? How to file claims and compensation, and some different California benefits that are out there. The core curriculum is really a good place to start, and we'll talk a little bit about California benefits. Next slide, please. So what exactly are my California benefits? Remember that there's federal benefits and there's state benefits. I like to think of them like railroad tracks, like they run together. Sometimes you want to use federal, sometimes you want to use state, and other times you really want to use both. Next slide, please. One of the things that California really does that's awesome is we have the college tuition fee waiver for the dependents of veterans who have a disability rating of 0% or higher. We really encourage the veterans to use their tuition assistance and the benefits that they've earned, but this is something for the children or the dependents of veterans who have that disability rating, and it really is a game changer because it waives the fees for any California community college, any California State University, or any University of California. There are some eligibility requirements, and that's all available on our website for you to explore. As a veteran, a lot of us like to have the veteran designation on our driver's license, and the state of California just recently started waiving the fees for that. So if you do want to get the actual veteran designation on your driver's license, you can speak with your county veteran service office, get the paperwork, and go down the DMV and have that added on. California also offers a motor vehicle registration fee waiver. So if you do have a disability that is mobility related at 100%, then the state of California will waive the registration for one of your vehicles. And with that license plate now, they also updated the law as of January 1. So you're able to waive bridge fees as well. Next slide, please. California does offer reduced hunting and fishing licenses. California has some beautiful outdoor landscaping, and if you have a disability rating of 50% or higher, you can get those reduced fishing and hunting licenses. The federal government offers a parks program, the National Parks Program, and as a veteran or active duty military, you can sign up for that, and that will waive the fees for all of the national parks. For the state parks, if you have a disability rating of 50% or higher, you can get a no-cost state parks pass, or you can also go to the libraries. That's something that they started recently. You can go to libraries and check out state parks passes as well. So you and your family can go and enjoy some of the state parks that are specific to that. Disabled veteran property tax exemption and business licenses, taxes, and fees exemptions. Those are really specific towards the counties. So we always send the veterans to the county assessor's office to speak directly about those tax and fee exemptions, because there's so many counties in California. It's like 58, so the rules are always a little different. Next slide, please. Within our building, the California Department of Veteran Affairs, we have several divisions. Veteran Services, where I work with, Home Loans Division. There's a Women's Veterans Division where they really do a lot of outreach and advocacy. That's awesome, because there's like 117,000 170,000 female veterans in the state of California. The Minority and Underrepresented Veterans Division does a lot of outreach as well, looking for those underserviced members of the veteran community. They also work a lot with helping people get citizenship, which is really cool. When the time comes that we have that discussion about aging, there's homes for long-term care. California operates 8 veteran-themed care homes that are some of the best care facilities in the nation. And California also operates cemeteries for veterans, because we do have to recognize that the day will come when we all talk about our legacies. The federal government has 8 cemeteries that they operate in the state of California, and the state has 3 state veteran cemeteries, with the 4th one being built right now. So it just gives you a lot of options to figure out where exactly you want your legacy to be held. Next slide, please. Whenever you're talking with us at the California Department of Veteran Affairs, we always ask that you use a non-DOD email address for those people still on active duty or reserve status. It just makes it easier for us to help and follow along with you. We also recommend that you register for My CalVet on our homepage, so we can make sure that we customize the benefits and services that you need. I always, my kids, they love Instagram, but we have an Instagram page. We have a lot of social media. And we also do a lot of webinars. So we encourage you, follow us, come see us, come look at the stuff that we do. We're here to help you out. Next slide, please. Again, this is our landing page for the CalTAP program. And on the right side, in the upper right, you'll see where it talks about My CalVet and how to register and log in to make an account to customize those benefits with us. Next slide, please. This is our monthly newsletter. We put this out 12 times a year, and it's made by myself and the other analysts that work in the building. We're just trying to make sure that you have information about some of the changes in the law and some upcoming news articles that we feel that you might find interesting and exciting. We all put a lot of heart and soul into it, and it's something that we encourage you to take a look at when time permits. Next slide, please. VA.gov. A lot of people have navigated through this website before. If you haven't, it's a great place to log in, create an account, and really look at the benefits that you've earned. They've also recently, within the last few months, put a app out, so you can navigate the app through your phone, and it makes it a lot easier to look at your information whenever you need it. Next slide, please. My Healthy Vet. This is another excellent website that the federal government puts out, and you can track your pharmacy appointments, healthcare, send messages back and forth to your doctor. You can also navigate to your health records. If you have different types of health coverage, you can get it all streamlined in one place. And there's also millions of pages of health information that's relevant and super helpful to make sure that you can have the most important thing, which is our health. Next page, please. This is my contact information. I encourage you to contact me today, tomorrow. As a veteran myself, I understand that sometimes it's a little tricky finding where we can get the information about the benefits that we've earned. And part of my role is to make sure that you find out about those and that we help you navigate towards them. That 1-800 number up there, it's myself and my teammates. We're live human beings, and we're happy to help you out. Thank you for your time today. And as we transition to this next slide, I do want to mention a little bit about the VA home loan information, because it's one of the coolest things that the government has to offer, because having that home is such a great thing. The VA home loan program is really a game changer because a lot of times it really reduces the down payments for home buyers, and it maximizes the accessibility. The only thing that you're really going to run into is going to be the funding fee, and the the fact that the VA actually has this home loan program that controls closing costs. And if you're one of those people that want to pay it off early, there's no prepayment penalties. But the best thing is that you really avoid that mortgage interest. And what a lot of people may not be aware of is that the VA home loan is really a guarantee, right? The federal government's guaranteeing your home loan, and you can get it from Bank of America, Wells Fargo, you name it, whatever your lender of choice is, Freedom Mortgage. But you can also work with CalVet, and CalVet has a home loan. And with their home loan, because our home loans division has been around since 1921. It's a huge program that we have for the veterans. And the coolest thing is that they do manual underwriting. And for people who recognize what that means, if you don't have a standard regular employment, manual underwriting really does change things. Also, if you have a 10% or higher disability rating, the state of California, when you're working with the CalVet home loans, it actually removes that funding fee. You can use the CalVet home loan and the VA home loan together and really maximize your opportunities to purchase that home of your dreams. In addition to all of those things, the insurance rates that are offered by the state of California are pretty low, and the interest rates are just as competitive as everyone else. They're going to be focused on working with you as a veteran as opposed to working with you as a commissioned customer. They're going to service your loan the entire time of the process. So it's a great program to look into, and you can always contact me as well, and I can get you talking with that team, or you can visit our website and go directly to them as well. Next slide.
Okay, thank you, Sean. A lot of really great information from CalVet. He'll still be around. I see a lot of questions that are being sent to us right now. As a reminder, if you do have any questions, please feel free to submit it into the Zoom's Q&A feature. We will answer it at a dedicated session at the very end of the webinar. So yes, please submit us your questions. But Sean will be around to answer those at the end. Okay, I do want to plug Military OneSource. It's a website, but it's also a service for military service members. It is available for all active duty service members, National Guard, Reserve members, and their families and survivors. So if you are actively or even National Guard or Reserves, you can use Military OneSource. I know I have a lot of friends that have used their services. Here, I just want to plug their three big. Military OneSource has a lot of different resources for military service members. But I do want to plug their three big ones for financial resources. The big one is the free financial counseling. It's free. You set up an appointment, initial appointment, and they also have, I want to say they also have individuals on bases where you could go talk to someone face to face about your financial situation and get help. So it could be something like just developing a budget. It could be other financial issues that you can get help with. So again, all that financial counseling is free for service members. They also have a free tax filing service, and that's through Military OneSource. Again, you have to set an appointment through them, but yeah, it's completely free. And then there's also no cost legal assistance. It's more just like counseling if you need it, legal counseling. Assistance with setting up a will or a power of attorney, that kind of thing. So again, all those three services are free through Military OneSource. I provided a link right there in the slide. Please feel free to get in there and set up an appointment and get the help you need. Military OneSource is fantastic. Okay, next I want to go over the Department of Veteran Affairs National Cemetery Administration's burial and memorial benefits. So this is planning for the future. Again, the burial memorial benefits for veterans. So here's a quick video we'll watch.
Did you know, whether you choose to be buried in a VA National Cemetery or a private cemetery, VA can help? Did you know memorial services at any one of our meticulously maintained VA National Cemeteries are provided at no charge to veterans, their spouses, and other eligible family members? Did you know these VA services can save families thousands of dollars? VA provides compassionate professional memorial and burial services to ease families through the loss of their loved one. VA memorial services may include burial in a VA National Cemetery, the opening and closing of the gravesite, grave liner, inscribed headstones or markers, a burial flag and presidential memorial certificate, and perpetual care of the gravesite. With new VA National, state, and tribal cemeteries opening soon, almost every veteran will have a burial option within about an hour's drive from home. If your family prefers a private cemetery, VA provides a headstone, marker, or medallion, a burial flag, and a presidential certificate. VA grave sites cannot be reserved. However, veterans and spouses can now apply to determine eligibility at any time. At the time of need, contact a funeral home to arrange burial at a national cemetery. To schedule a burial, fax the DD-214 form or other discharge papers to 866-900-6417 or scan an email to nca.scheduling@va.gov. Then call 800-535-1117 to follow up. VA honors the service and sacrifice of veterans and their family members. To find out more about VA memorial benefits, explore VA today.
Okay, it's a great video. It's only 2 minutes long, and it provides a really great overview of the memorial, kind of get started, and also kind of the benefits of all. Sorry, next slide. With this, I just want to have Sean step back in and talk a little bit about CalVet cemeteries.
Thank you. So there's state cemeteries and there's federal cemeteries. And really the buzzword you're going to hear a lot is eligibility. Having the state cemeteries, it really just maximizes your opportunity of finding that final resting space a little bit closer to you, where you're at, to where your family is, and it really does change outcomes. One of the things that I found is that when you're sitting at, I've dealt with this a couple of times myself, and sitting at someone's bedside as they're passing away, and just knowing that section of having to figure out what are all the burial memorials, how are we going to take care of our loved ones, transporting them from the hospital to their final resting place, having a honor guard, all of that stuff, it's all taken care of, and it really streamlines things and makes it just a much more a blessing of an experience, and really adds more to their legacy as they're passing on. As you can see, that there's various things that they do give you: gravesite, grave liner, opening of caskets, and they also give a burial flag, and when the team's available, they also give you a final rifle salute as well.
Yeah,
next slide.
Yeah, thanks, Sean. So there are definitely some eligibility requirements, and it's listed here on the slide. I don't really want to read it off, but what I do want to say and remind service members out there, as a veteran myself, share your DD-214 with your loved ones, especially those individuals which is going to be taking care of your burial ceremony, or burial, whoever has the power of attorney to take care of you once the time comes. And the reason being is I do hear a lot of stories where, a veteran passes unexpectedly, and it could be their significant other or family members are not able to locate that veteran's DD 214. And so it becomes just another very stressful point for them to try to get through. So again, trying to just share eligibility is a big thing, and make sure as a veteran, what I've done is I shared my DD 214 with my family. I just put it into their fire safe or wherever. My wife has a digital copy, so that if anything were to happen to me, she already has a copy of it. She knows where to go, what to use to claim eligibility for burial benefits. But again, there are eligibility requirements, and you could find more information with that link below. Okay. One thing that the administration wanted to highlight is to make sure you plan now, right? Again, you want to, yes, make sure you are eligible. So, because oftentimes when these things happen, you might not be there to make sure that all the questions are answered correctly, that you have the right forms filled out, and then of course you have all the paperwork to make this happen. So again, you and your family know what burial benefits you want, and obviously you can help prevent spending time and money on other expenses by verifying your burial benefits, and then of course being in their system helps your family when the time comes. Okay, how to apply? Two different ways. You could submit a paper application as well as an online application, which the administration prefers. The application could be found at this link below. Yeah, and just a heads up, these slides will be made available to everyone who registered for the webinar. So you could refer back to these slides, so you can go directly to this link if you need to. The other thing, another program, and I remember this was launched, but this is a great feature. It's a program. It's online legacy memorial. It gives visitors a chance to leave a tribute. There's a place where you could find loved ones, other veterans, and submit your information, maybe a message there. So it's just something that when you register with the Veterans Memorial and after the time goes, this is automatically created for you. It's just a database. So great program there. A little more information about it. Again, place where people could share stories, leave photos, and then virtually visit a veteran if they are not able to visit them physically. And then all postings are moderated, which is great. Of course, as Sean mentioned, there are, depending on, and correct me here, Sean, I don't know enough about like the 21 gun salutes, but it's available based on the availability of the honor guard. Am I correct about this?
Correct, because there's only a couple of teams and it's a busy state, so it's based on their availability.
Yeah, and I would probably say in that sense, if you really want kind of a 21 gun salute, you definitely want to schedule around their schedule. You want to set up around their schedule. But it is a really cool thing if you've ever seen it live. So just putting it out there. And then, of course, if you just want to get started, there's a link to the Veterans Memorial Welcome Kit. It's www.va.gov/welcome kit. It's a whole packet, kind of just getting you started, learning about all the requirements, benefits, eligibility, and getting started with the application. With that, I would like to hand off to Dana Salas with ScholarShare to talk about California's College Savings Program. Dana?
Thanks, Q. I appreciate it. So I'll be talking to you about how to save for college with our plan through California. I know some of the veterans have college paying benefits already with the GI Bill, but having a savings in place can boost and provide an additional money if maybe the money benefit that you get through the veteran support is not enough, or it could be a supplement to what you may get. So next slide. So thanks again. My name is Dana Salas. I'm an outreach specialist with the California State Treasurer's Office, And we raise awareness about the importance of saving for college for your family, to share it with friends as well. And there's my email address if you want to send me any questions you have after this. If you didn't get to answer them, ask them during the Q&A session. But nice to meet everyone. Next slide. So a little bit about our program. We are the official California plan. There's 529s out there throughout the country. Each state may have their own 529. The 529s were created by the federal government to help families save specifically for higher education. So it's designated the IRS section code 529. Similar how the 401k works for retirement, this one's specifically for college. So the California state assigned the state treasurer's office to oversee this 529, and it is overseen by the ScholarShare Investment Board that is chaired by the California State Treasurer. So you know that the program is safe, and we've been around for over 20 years. It is an investment vehicle. So we have about 13 billion in assets. So it just shows that families are saving with our program. So it's a great benefit and a supplement for benefits that some of the veterans may already have college benefits, but this is a great supplement for that. Next slide. And this just shows you the cost of higher education, how much you expect, or what's going on today with the high cost of higher education. There's about $1.75 trillion total student loan debt, and about the $28,000 graduates have debt at the end of their college career. And about 46.1 million Americans have student loan debt. And these numbers are a little bit scary, but that's why we want to raise awareness about saving, because saving always helps and can help avoid having to take out any loans in the future. Some loans may be required or necessary, but the more you save and the supplement that you can get, then the better off you are and less stressed in having to pay off any loans. But next slide. So how can you use the money? So once you are saving, you have all this money saved up. And one thing to mention too, since it is an investment vehicle, you would get earnings. So all earnings are going to be tax-free. So that's one of the perks of it being a federal program, is all your earnings are tax-free, which is unlike other investment options. You'll get taxed on the earnings, things like that, some fees, but with us, there's no taxes on them. So that just means more money for college. And when you have all this money saved up, you can use it for tuition fees, obviously, but you can also use it for computers, laptops, software that may be needed for school. In California, you can use the money, but you can use it around the world too. So just because it is the California plan doesn't mean you have to use it in California. You can use it in other states, things like that. And these plans are also able to help pay off your own education. So as a parent, someone who doesn't have kids, let's say, you can still open up a plan for yourself if you want to pursue more education. So it's not just open to young ones. And you can also change beneficiaries. So if you are opening one for your child, if one doesn't go to college, let's say the other child can, you could change it up. And you can withdraw for other purposes too. If you have money left over that hasn't been used, the plan won't expire on you. So you can withdraw for other purposes if you have an emergency, let's say, but you would get penalized on the earnings only. So all the money you've been saving, that's your money, but there will be some penalties only on the earnings. And why do we penalize? It's because these programs were made to be used for higher education. So if you don't use them for that, there's going to be a penalty on that. So just FYI, keep that in mind when you're considering opening up a 529 plan. Next slide. So who is eligible? Basically, anyone's eligible as long as they have a U.S. citizen resident designation, if they have a social security number or ID number, tax ID number, things like that, then they can open one. Child, grandchild is the beneficiary usually, but like I mentioned earlier, you can open one for yourself to supplement any other benefits you may have to pay for college. And contributors, just about anyone. One big thing I wanted to talk to you is about the U-Gift option that we have with our program. So other family members can help you save. It doesn't just have to rely on you saving, others can pitch in. So instead of maybe getting a gift that might break or clothes that your kid may wear out, you can have family and friends directly donate, so to speak, into your savings account. So it's a really easy process. I don't know if many of you have used Venmo or those instant transfer apps. So it works similar like that. You don't have to give them any personal information for them to save with you or give you savings. You would just send them a link from your account. They would click on that link and they would directly send you some money that goes straight into your account. So it's a really easy process. Just wanted to mention it. Just makes it easy for others to help you save. Next slide. So if you are thinking about opening one of these plans, I'd encourage you. You would have to visit scholarshare529.com, all online. You can also call our 800 number and then we can walk you through the steps like that too. But it takes less than 20 minutes, 15 minutes or so, depending on your pace. And you will have to select the beneficiary at first. Who are you going to save for? Either your child or yourself. Decide how much to save. The minimum amount to save for college or to save and open an account is $1. So to open an account is just $1. So it's not a huge commitment. If you want to try it out and see how it's working out for you, you can cancel at any time. There's no fees on that. So it's $1. You might as well give it a try. And then the third step would be to choose an investment portfolio. Like I mentioned, it is an investment vehicle. We have 19 different portfolios that are, some are more aggressive, more conservative. It just depends on your investment strategy, but there's something for everyone. And then final step is going to be to fund your account with that $1 minimum. And that would be a really great way for you to start saving if you have a state employee, or maybe your employer has our program called Workplace Savings, is where we help the employees have the money that they want to save come right out of their paycheck. So depending on where you work, you may want to ask your employer if they offer this. Most state workers, we work with state workers and we offer this payroll deduction option, so the money can come right out of your paycheck. So that is something cool to ask your employer. But that's how it works. It's really easy to open an account. Next slide. So now I want to touch a little bit on CalKids real briefly. And then it's a great program that was launched last year in 2022 that gives seed money to children in California, automatically free money for kids. There's 2 groups that will get one. I'll get into it in the next slide, but just to let you know, it's a great program to look into. And 2, if you could put in the link of our CalKids program, that would be great. That way you can research it on your own and look it up, but I'll give you some information here. So next slide. So like I mentioned, there's 2 groups who get an award. There are newborns, first of all, so I'll talk about them. So the newborns, all California newborns, so born in California on or after July 1st of 2022, get an initial $25 deposit. So that's just free automatically when they're born. We get the information from the Department of Public Health. They give us all that information, and once they're in the system, then they get that $25. No contribution from the parent, no commitments. It's just there for them. All they have to do is claim the money. So that's why we're here letting you know about that. So if you know of any new babies that have been born in your family, let the family members know. It's free money for college. Now they would get an additional $25 if the parent or guardian registers the account, and an additional $50 if you link the CalKids account when a ScholarShare 529 savings account. So CalKids and ScholarShare works hand in hand. So CalKids gives you that seed deposit, and ScholarShare helps you grow the savings with earnings and all that. And it is a one-time deposit for the newborns here. Next slide. The other award is for school age, the public low-income California school students, and the amount is larger. We want kids, the babies, they get a little seed deposit because they have more time to save for college. For the school age kids, depending on where they are in school, they get a little more to boost the savings. It's a great starting point for families to start saving, and a $500 automatic deposit into the CalKids account that maybe your family members may already have this, depending on their eligibility. It's awarded to kids, students in the 1st to 12th grade. So to see if you are eligible or have this deposit already, go to the CalKids website again, like it's on the chat now, and you can see if you're eligible just to check if you think you are or not. It's worth it because $500 is a good amount to help you start saving. And then there are additional deposits if if an eligible student is identified as a foster youth and if the student is identified as homeless. So depending on the situation of the family, they can get up to $1,500. But even at the minimum, $500 is still a good amount to check to see if you're eligible. Go to calkids.org. So definitely take advantage of this program. Next slide. And then one more offer that we're offering, one more slide here is our 529 College Savings Day, May 29th, 529. If you get it, is National College Savings Day. So we celebrate by giving an offer to all that open a new account. Next slide. So the offer is you get up to $100 when you open a new account. And this is regardless of income, anyone can open one. No residency necessary, like you can open one if you live in New York, but we're promoting it to California families since we are the California plan. You can get up to $50 if you open an account with $50 and set up recurring contributions for at least 6 months, then you would get that bonus. If you open an account with $100, then you get $100. And it is a one-time match, and it's either 50 or 100, so you could choose. And if you're opening an account for, let's say, 5 kids, then you would get that bonus for each of those new accounts. If you open one for 1 child, then you get that one bonus. So definitely take advantage of this offer. It did start on Monday. Oh, it's already Wednesday. So May 22nd through the May 31st is when this offer is running through. So if you open an account during that time frame, you will be eligible for the bonus. So take advantage of that. And two, if you could also post the link on the chat, that it will take you directly into the offer so you can get more details and you can open an account to get started in saving for college. But I appreciate you listening to this special information about ScholarShare. And again, we'll stay tuned for your questions. But if you have any questions, email me directly too. But thank you.
Okay, thank you, Dana. I love plugging ScholarShare 529 wherever I can. I have 2 accounts for my own boys, and it's great watching the money grow. Also, talking about the the ability to share the U gift, right? The ability for people to share, your family members to just give money. My kids have too many toys as it is, so for their birthdays, my family just puts money into their ScholarShare 529 account. And again, we love to watch it grow for my 2 boys. Okay, so questions. We are at the question session. Again, reminder, if you do have any questions, please submit it through the Zoom Q&A feature. We have quite a few and just a couple minutes to answer these, so it's going to be a bit of a lightning round. Okay, first question, is this presentation available? Yes. After the webinar, for everyone who registered, we will send them an email, a follow-up email. It'll have a copy of the slides, as well as a link to the webinar recording, which will be published to our YouTube channel. Okay. Question, where can I get help enrolling in my VA benefits? Sean, this might be for you.
So the best thing that you can do is talk to the county veteran service office. There's 58 counties in California. So if you go to our website, you'll see the master list where you can just jump in and find the one closest to you. That's definitely where you start. They'll walk you through the process and there's no fee.
Yep. And the website is calvet.ca.gov. Great place to start. And again, it's the county veteran service office. Is that right?
Absolutely.
Okay, awesome. Thank you, Sean. Looks like another question here. Do you recommend a CalVet home loan over a VA loan?
The best thing to do is you can combine them in a lot of scenarios, and that is absolutely what I would recommend, is to combine them. Talk to our home loans division, and they'll walk you through the process step by step.
Yep, good question. And yeah, just get started at CalVets, talking to a home loan. Is it a home loan officer? Is that right?
Yeah, correct. And on our website, right on the front page, you'll see that they have their own landing page. It'll navigate you right there.
Fantastic. Thank you, Sean. And this kind of answers our next question, which is who can I talk to regarding a CalVet home loan? And I think Sean mentioned go straight to the CalVet website. Again, it's
Yeah.
calvet.ca.gov.
Or you can contact me and I can forward you their information. Either way.
Yeah, perfect. Great way to get started. Thank you for the question. Looks like this question's for burial benefits. Can veteran grave sites be reserved ahead of time? I do not believe so. If I remember from the video, whether it's a national cemetery or a private cemetery, I think it's on a per basis, right? So when it happens, I don't think you can actually reserve the actual plot. Sean, correct me if I'm wrong here.
No, you're 100% correct. You want to make sure that you have that eligibility and verify your eligibility once you do that, but they're not gonna reserve a space for you. Okay. Sorry about that.
I totally understand. There's a lot of veterans and it's hard to reserve spots. Makes sense. Thank you for the question. Okay, will this webinar be shared? Yes. Again, just a reminder, everyone who registered for the webinar will get a follow-up email with a link to the webinar recording as well as the slides. Next question, do I have to live in California to open a 529? Dana, this is for you.
Yes, thank you. So you do not have to live in California to open a plan. Anyone can open it as long as they have a social ID number, social security number, or a resident number. So yeah, you can live in Oregon and open our plan. So that would be totally fine. So yeah, it's open to anyone.
Great. Thank you, Dana. Next question, can we get a copy of these slides? Yes. Again, follow-up email will have the slides attached to them. Okay, sorry if I feel like I'm rushing through these questions. Again, if you do have any questions, we're coming up to the end. Make sure you submit them because I want to get them answered before we go. Next question is, what is the maximum I can contribute to my 529 account?
Yes, so the absolute maximum is $529,000 lifetime. But if you want to do a year basis on a yearly basis as a single person, you would have to put in up to $15,000 per year. But if it's a couple putting in money, it would be up to $45,000 a year. So it just depends, but a year, that's about the amount. And if you want to do a lump sum, let's say if you have extra money from another investment you want to put in through, we do offer a lump sum of up to $85,000 over 5 years. So if you want more information about that, you can visit our website too. But yeah, that's how that would work.
Yeah, great question. I didn't even know that. Thank you, Dana. Last question, which is last question about 529. Again, submit any questions you have still. Do I have to be a parent to open a 529 account?
No. So if you have a niece or nephew you really want to save for, you could save one for them. If you have a friend, child that you really love, you could open one for them, or you can open it for yourself too. So as long as they meet the eligibility of having a social or tax ID number, then you can open one for that person or yourself.
Thank you, Dana. Could be a grandparent opening up a 529 account for their grandkids. It's always great.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
You know, this is an interesting situation. It's a great follow-up. Can a child have more than one 529 account? Or can an individual have more than one 529 account?
Yes. So as let's say a parent has 5 children, they can open an account for those 5 children separately. And then let's say one parent has an account for their child, the other parent can have an account for their child. So there could be different accounts.
Okay, and this is interesting. So remember our other question where it says like a maximum amount for an individual. So basically every 529 account can have a maximum of, was it 500?
Yeah, 529,000.
Over the lifetime of the account. So you could have an individual a beneficiary that has multiple 529 accounts with up to 529,000.
Yeah, correct.
Cool, very cool. Great questions, everyone, by the way. So, all right, that seems to be it. And that leads us to just a little bit of a follow-up at the end. So here's our contact information. Thank you for joining us. There's Sean Campbell, training coordinator from CalVet. We have Dana Salas, outreach specialist with ScholarShare. And of course, me, Cooley, targeted outreach director for the DFPI. A little bit of last minute reminders. Number one, please let me know how I'm doing. There is a link there to a feedback survey. It's just 5 easy questions. You don't even have to answer all the questions, but I really want to know how I'm doing, right? Am I talking too fast? Was the presentation too fast? Can't read the print. Please submit your feedback. I really want to know how I'm doing. Next thing is please subscribe to the DFPI's newsletter. We have a monthly newsletter that we publish. It includes consumer alerts, a list of events that are happening in the month, really great newsletter. And finally, subscribe to our YouTube channel where we publish all of our webinars and other videos. We do have 2 other webinars coming up next month, and I wanted to plug them both. The first one coming up in June, I would say it's June 6th, student loans, what to expect. And there's a link to it. And there's also another one in June called Pathway to Home Ownership, and that's with Cal HFA. There's a link to register for that webinar as well. That one is June 21st. So with that, I want to say thank you to everyone for joining us. And thank you to all the military service members and veterans for your service. And have a great and happy, safe Memorial Day. And take care of yourself and each other. And thank you to the presenters also. Thank you and have a great day.
Thank you, and thank you everyone for your service.
Thank you.